And this is Spellcasting 101. Today is going to be not a super long lesson. We're just going to talk about the basics of spellcasting, the general ideas of it, brief descriptions of the spellcasting classes and what they do, and you know, kind of an idea of what the schedule of the classes is going to be like. Now, as I am the professor, I am the one that does the talking, so shut it. Okay, cool. I will throw you out of my class. This is my assistant, Elkantar. Throughout the different courses, he's going to be the one that I'm going to abuse for your knowledge and amusement. Somebody make me painkillers. There's no painkillers where you're going. So, spellcasting. It is the thing that you do if you don't want to swing a stick. Sometimes you do it if you do want to swing a stick. That's the cool thing about being a spellcaster. You are very versatile. You have a lot more on your plate than any of the other classes do. The primary difference between the spellcasting and the non-spellcasting classes is a non-spellcasting class like Barbarian or Warrior or Scout. They get certain abilities, certain like static set abilities as they achieve different levels. You know. When you're playing your Scout, you get certain things as you level up. You get access to Hold Person and the Heal spell and Dispel Magic and stuff like that. But you get them at a specific time, and those are the only things that you get. Spellcasters function differently. Every level you have a list of spells that you can use, and you get a set amount of points. It's 5 per level you can spend on those spells. And your list does not have to stay the same. If you find a spell list, and you're just in love with it, and that's the only one you want to use, that's fine. I might look at you a little funny, but it's your prerogative, it's your spell list, do whatever the heck you want to do. But the cool thing about being a spellcaster is, if you want different abilities in the next game, rewrite your spells. Absolutely a thing you can do. I do it frequently, depending on the game. I will, you know, when I'm playing Wizard or Bard, I will, depending on the type of game, I'll pick a list of spells that are useful for that type of game. If I need to defend a point, then I will take a lot of spells that make people go away from that point. If I need to defeat people, then I will take a lot of spells that facilitate that. You know, especially if I'm playing a Wizard, I'll take a lot of the kill combos, shut them down, put them down, that kind of thing. So that's the primary difference between a spellcaster and a non-spellcasting class. Any questions about that specific thing? Awesome. I like you just going to let me talk. I love it. So, the 4 spellcasting classes in alphabetical order, because that's how they're presented in the book, are, first is the Bard. Bards are a versatile spellcaster that primarily uses ranged verbal magic. None of their offensive magic. Yes, Bards wear a blue sash. See a guy with blue on him like this, he's playing a bard. He's also handsome and intelligent and a cool guy. All of their offensive magic is ranged and verbal. They're not going to be throwing any spell balls at you. They have few enchantments to put on themselves or their friends. So they don't have a lot in the way of magical killing power, but they have access to certain equipments that other spellcasters don't. Unlike other, so the other primary difference between a spellcaster and a non-spellcaster is a non-spellcaster, a warrior, has access to all of this equipment from level 1. You can use all melee weapons, all types of shields, you know, just tons and tons and buckets of armor. Don't keep your armor in a bucket. That's not good for it. And they have all that from the get-go, from level 1, whereas a spellcaster does not. You get your spell list will show you what spells you have access to at what levels, and you have to spend your points on that equipment. So you get better gear, but you have to sacrifice some of your magic casting ability to do it. But that's okay, because the magic goes away, but the gear doesn't. Bards are the only spellcasters that have access to armor. At 6th level, they can wear up to 2 points of armor, and believe me, when you're a bard and everybody's trying to shoot arrows at you, those 2 points really, really, really useful. So there's that. They get various types of weapons, daggers, short weapons, long weapons, small and medium shields as well. As they ascend in the level. But the cool thing about bards is their role on the battlefield is just huge. They can do so many different things. For example, when I play bard, I tend to prefer a more mobile, completely verbal-based thing. I'm go away, go away, go away, go away, and if you can't go away, then I will. That kind of thing. Whereas other bards, like Termus, you will see him, he's very much the combat caster type bard. He's got his armor on, he's got his 2 weapons, or he's got a weapon and a shield, and he is in your face. He'll make you go away if he needs a minute to kill the other guy. But otherwise, he's up in it, he's using his magic when he needs it, but he's using his sword and his shield, or his 2 swords to just do the thing. And he's really darn good at it, as was made official yesterday. Congratulations, Termus. I'm not sucking up to the new king. Nobody asked you. Bards can also be extremely helpful to their friends. They've got a lot of stuff that gets their allies' abilities back. They can repair their armor. They can do other neat stuff. They have very, 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 very limited access to healing at higher levels. Very, very limited. Nowhere near the capacity of even a druid or a monk or anything like that. Pretty much anyone with access to healing can do it better than a bard, but bards haven't. They're very versatile. Another unique thing that bards get are their songs. These are spells that function like any normal spell, except you say the opening incantation, and then you begin to chant or sing. And while you are chanting or singing, you are affected with certain things. It's like a limited enchantment, basically. You say, I sing of my numerous close calls, and then you sing a chant about how it's hard to kill you. And that's how you use Song of Survival, one of my favorite of the bard songs, because it allows you to die without dying once per. It's pretty cool. Basically doubles your life. It's pretty neat. And you can also mix all of these things up and do all of them at the same time a little bit, or you can laser focus and do one of them really well. That's what I like about bard. They're very versatile. Next is the druid. Druids wear brown sash. Everyone wants to be friends with a druid, because druids have sweet candy. Not actual candy. It's a term that we use to just refer to the mountains and mountains of magical enchantments that they can put upon their friends and even themselves. They get the ability to just pile enchantments on people, just put them on it. You know, normally you can only wear 1, but druids can be like, here, you know what? How about 4? And just literally turn you into a monster at that point. It's pretty neat. They can also do. They have access to spell balls like wizards and healers do. They have access to a lot of different gear. They're the only spellcaster who has the ability to use a bow. That's pretty cool. It's at maximum level of 6, and they have to sacrifice some of their magic to do it, but they can use a bow. Pretty neat. You got bow and magic, hard to beat. And they can also pile some of those enchantments on themselves too. You get somebody with a decent amount of stick and they're playing druid, just go away unless you're on their team, because they aren't gonna let you survive if you're anywhere near them. They're just gonna be like, oh, you're dead. You try to do something with them, like, sorry, I got all these enchantments. You can't do anything with me. So that's pretty cool. Healer wears red. Yeah. So if you see somebody wearing red like this, it means they're a healer. Everybody wants to be friends with a healer, because healers make your life longer. Healers, of course, can heal. They are the best at it. Other classes have access to healing. Paladins, monks, druids, scouts have access to healing. Specifically, they all have access to the heal spell. But healers get unlimited use of it. They get resurrects. They get greater healing, greater resurrect. They can heal you better than anybody else. They can bring you back to life better than anybody else. If you are immune to being resurrected, healer don't care. Healer gonna do it anyway. Pretty cool. They get some neat defensive enchantments that they can put on their friends. It's pretty cool. And healer sounds like a very passive spellcasting class. Like, I'm going to hang out in the back, I'm going to heal my friends, I'm going to resurrect them, I'm going to repair their armor, I'm going to release them from any trouble they're in. It doesn't have to be that way. I know several very effective healers who will heal their friends, and then when somebody comes up to try to hurt them again, they'll be like, no, you got to get through me first. And you can't get through them because they won't let you. Because you wound them and they just healed themselves. Sorry about your bad luck. Healer is awesome. I have stated before in the past that if healers had access to armor, nobody would play anything else, and I stand by that. It's just, it would be too good. So that's awesome. They do get some offensive spell balls. They're the only one that has the abeyance ball. Pretty cool. Healer is a great class. Last, but certainly not least, is the wizard. Wizards wear a yellow sash. Wizards blow things up. That's what they do. The versatility of the other spellcasting classes is certainly a bonus, but nobody can kill you like a wizard can kill you. They have limited access to weapons. They're the only spellcasting class that doesn't get any kind of shield. They have very few defensive abilities. They are the glass cannon, and they have many spells which just make you dead. They have a sword. They can kill you with a sword, or you're frozen. Cool. I shatter your frozen body. Now you're dead. Oh, you're stopped. Cool. You're pulled underground by, I don't know, vines or something, and now you're buried alive and dead. Oh, you're insubstantial in the ether. Cool. The ether rips apart and you're dead. And then finally, my personal favorite, at 6th level, you're dead. No condition, nothing. Just point at you, say a few words, now you're dead. It's wonderful. Everybody should try it sometime. They get access to all of the spell balls except for abeyance. Every spell ball that exists except for abeyance belongs to the wizard. The wizards get them more and better than everybody else because they are the glass cannon. One of the things a max level wizard can do is just have a big bag of spell balls and just fireball, lightning bolt, fireball, ice ball, sphere of annihilation. Sphere of annihilation is a beautiful thing. Whoever you are, wherever you are, sphere of annihilation, you're dead. It's just going to go through everything. It just doesn't matter. Throw your equipment in front of it. That equipment is dead. Fine. You can't have fun getting it back. If you're wearing armor, sphere of annihilation, don't care. So that's fun. So those are the spellcasting classes, and that's kind of what they do. There's that. Any questions about any of the classes? Love it. Awesome. Questions are okay. I'm not going to get mad at you if you ask a question. I'm here to inform, for you all to learn. So if you have questions, don't be shy. Please ask them. Even if you think it's a dumb question, even if it is a dumb question, I'm going to answer it because that's what I'm here for. Yes.
Will we go into detail about the archetypes later?
Yes, that is something we were going to discuss later. Each of the individual caster classes is going to have their own lesson later on, and when we talk about each of the class specifically, we will go in depth into their archetypes as well. Okay. Archetypes are special abilities that spellcasters get at 6th level that alter the way they interact with their own magic. For example, you get double a certain type of magic, but you don't have access to this other type of magic at all. That kind of thing. And they have their pros and their cons. We will discuss them at length individually when we talk about the individual classes. So there's that. The schools of magic. This is what I needed the book for. Are a thing. The schools of magic are important. Each spell, the incantation for each spell, has the school of magic that it's from in the incantation. That's why your target has to be able to hear you when you say it, so they can know if they're immune to it or not, because some people are immune to certain things. Barbarians are immune to the command spell and the the command school and the subdual school. So anything from the command school, which is a verbal, all the command school is verbals. If it has the word command in the incantation, I command thee to stop, Barbarian don't care. So all the subdual school are spell balls that prevent you from moving and doing stuff. Entangle, ice ball, abeyance, I believe, is subdual, and that kind of thing. Barbarian is immune to these things because they don't believe in magic or something. So not only is it good to know what your spells do, it's good to know what classes your spells do and do not do anything to. It's good to know, even if you're not a spellcaster, it's good to know what spells work against you and what spells don't. If you're a barbarian, you learn what is a command spell, you learn what is a subdual spell. So when somebody's doing one of those on you, you can say immune if you're feeling nice, or you could just let them cast the spell and be like, oh, I'm immune to that. And then they don't have the spell anymore. So that's fun. You know, monks have their enlightened soul immunity to all ranged verbals. That's good and bad ranged verbals. So they can't be, you know, their corpses can't be summoned. They can't be released from a distance, that kind of thing. Immunities are good and they can be bad. So learn what your magical things do. Schools of magic, I'm pulling this up. Use lightning to kill you. They can call lightning from the sky, just and you did. It's fantastic. And again, I will mention the bucket loads of enchantments. Here, take them. Just throw them at people, and whatever sticks, you've got it now. That's an exaggeration, but that's pretty much how it works. So there you go. The next class, which we will do in 2 weeks. Is there a thing in 2 weeks? Because I can.
4th of July.
Huh? You have a thing in 2 weeks? That doesn't affect it.
No, it's not. It's the weekend before 4th of July.
The weekend before?
Yeah.
Well, that doesn't affect me.
2 weeks.
Okay, again, doesn't affect me. Your absence on a particular day, as the class will go on. We'll do 2 weeks. The lessons are going to be recorded, so there's that. In 2 weeks, we're going to talk about. We're going to go into more depth on what the schools do. We're going to talk about states, and we're going to talk about making a spell list. Basically, spellcasting 201 kind of thing. You know, learning a little bit more, and then after that, we'll start doing the series where we talk about other things. We'll do the classes after that. Individual legends for each classes. I will have local experts for each class if I can. You know, try to get paragons if I can. If not, the closest we have here to it. If I have to call in visitors, which I might have to do for one of them, then I'll do that. Basically, I'll have an expert here, somebody to talk about those classes if I personally don't have experience with them. I'm going to be the expert for Bard because I am the expert for Bard. Yay! Anyway, and then after that, we'll kind of do a thing. I'll release a full schedule here in the next couple of weeks. So if there are not any more questions, all right, that's all we have for today. Thank you for attending Spellcasting 101. I have been Professor Harold Thundervoice, and this is my assistant, Gimpentar.